And we're back with another episode of Let's Play Final Fantasy. I'm your host, the RPG Guy. One more dungeon to go. You guys ready? Hold on to your butts, because I got a hot babe holding on to mine. Giggity, giggity, giggity. All right, let's get going. So now we have to go to the very first dungeon of the game. Yay! So here we go, and in we go. So there's a whole thing to this, and I'll explain it. But we're in the Temple of Chaos. We'll come here, show off our 4 blings of light. The 4 crystals were laid over the black crystal. The tide of time advances to engulf all, and the dimensions begin to twist. They twist and turn. Just one step further, and you will travel 2,000 years back in time. And this will all be explained, I assure you. Poorly, but I will try to elaborate on it further. To a degree. Again, it's one of the first JRPGs ever made next to Dragon Warrior, Dragon Quest. So what do you expect? Alright, so now we're here 2,000 years in the past. And you can't leave, so... Now, with that said, the enemies here are mostly recycles from the various dungeons of various bosses we've already beaten, with a few exceptions to that. And you're going to see that as we progress here. So, but first things first, we'll show enemies you haven't seen before. Like, you've seen white dragons. They're not that special, but they're here, and they're angry as fuck. Luckily, we're angry as fuck as well. And we're also going to get a better weapon for Stabby, which I believe he can use. I believe he can use it. Don't quote me on that. Like, 90% sure it's his best weapon is in this dungeon, which it happens to be the final dungeon. And there is a total of 5 boss fights here, and you can't leave. Well, I mean, you can leave, I believe, but I believe you can warp out of here. But regardless, you know, you got to do it in one go, which means you have to be a bit more conservative with your spells. Hence why the 99 potions is one of the best deals you can get. Ooh, green dragons, they be nasty, yo. Good thing we're just as nasty. Yeah, nasty it up. They actually show up in the Waterfall Cavern, I believe, and they're very, very rare. So we didn't run into one, so we lucked out in that regard. Murder! Freaking sweet. Alright, let's keep moving. Down this way. We've got to keep heading down. It's a bit of a maze, but nothing relevant, nothing major. Alright, let's keep moving down here. So we're getting another freaking fight against green dragons. Alright, let's keep moving into another fight. Alright, let's keep moving into another freaking fight against the Death Eye, which is just an upgraded version of the Evil Eye. The Evil Eye! And you can see hitting the one character for 80 damage. Imagine what he hits the others for, and you get jack diddly crap for it. So, yeah, not a fun enemy to fight, unless you can kill him before he gets an attack. Alright. Money. More money, I guarantee it. Alright. Killed them. 4 fucking green dragons. Don't play it rest on the floor. It seems to emanate an evil force. Shoot. I always forget what to do here. Let me see. Hold on one second. Oh, fuck. Yay! Fire 3 casters. This is gonna be fun. Alright, killed them. Let me see here. It's gotta be one of our... God damn it, I sorted my inventory. What have we not used? We used the crown. We haven't used the loot. That's right. That fucking loot. Like, what have I not used? If somebody plays that on loot, I'd be surprised. It'd be interesting to see. All right, there we go. Yay! Adventure ho! Alright, not out of the woods yet, though. We still got some more floors to go. And you'll see that there's other rooms here, but again, they don't really lead to anywhere relevant, rather. So don't be surprised that I'm not, like, digging around through them, because there's just nothing there. Again, 2 enemies that now with the Excalibur, they're not that hard when they're in small groups like that. But they're just upgraded. The Rios is just an upgraded version of the Chimeras, so if you don't like the Chimera, you're not gonna like these guys. So, zombie dragons, remember them? Remember them at all? Well, good, because we're about to hit them with freaking die 2. Double casts, and that'll weaken them enough for us to give them the rest of the way. Alright, let's keep moving. Let's keep freaking getting into fight. Alright. Fight. Alright, we're almost ready to level to 35, too. We're about 3 to 5 grand out, depending on which characters we're talking about. So we're getting there. But now we're back on the first floor, going to the what would be argued to be the getting through the first half of the dungeon, which would lead us up to our first boss fight. Strangely enough, so we're getting there. There's lots of murder, and we're down to about 70 potions, which is good because you know this is probably the longest part of the dungeon consecutively without anything interesting really going on. Well, now something's interesting. Nah, not really. I'm gonna murder them like the rest. All right, let's keep going here. God damn it. All right, let's keep moving. Murder and Stabby leveled. So we're at 35, and I'm sure the mages will level after this fight. All right, let's keep moving. All right. So we're finally getting to our first. We're getting close to our first boss here. So hang tight. All right, let's keep moving here. All right. I believe this floor is showing a lot of the Earth dungeon enemies. So, all right, let's keep moving. Now we don't want to go down that way. The cake's a lie if you do. So where you really want to head is there. Get every character's HP above 400. Though it should be fine, but we're going to be on the safe side just in case. Because this boss is going to be very familiar, and he likes to open up with something kind of nasty. So, luckily, we could kill him before he gets to even do it. And look who it is, guys. Hey, kids. It's you're a mean one. Mr. Lich, you really are a heel. So this will probably do around 100 damage plus. Even could be more than that. Yep, 200. Holy mother of Burl, that's gonna ruin your day. And he's not done yet. Just do it just to keep the HP up. No, we're not gonna need. We don't need to use magic on him. He should be dead in 1 or 2 more rounds. Ooh, good thing he missed. He doesn't. I don't think he uses flare again. So, and usually you can kill him before he does, like such. But yeah, if we were stronger, we could kill him in the first round. But here's the thing: you could have said, "Well, why didn't you haste and steal to try to kill him in the first round?" Because it's not a guarantee, and you end up wasting the spell if it doesn't work. Why? Because you miss it. Your character attacks before the spell kicks in. So it's just one of those things where I've never found it to really be worth it. So we'll heal the characters. Whoops, he didn't need it. We'll heal the characters the best we can with magic instead of regular skills. Or potions, rather, because, yeah, we're going to be burning through. He's fine, technically. Not technically. Well, again, we gotta get everybody back up to 400, and that way we won't have to heal probably till the 3rd boss. And by then we'll be out of potions. We'll be burning through dildos, cure 1s and 2s when we do. Even cure 3. Try to hold on to cure 4, because we did burn through a heal 3, unfortunately. But that's just the way it goes, you know? Alright, this floor, not very complicated if you don't know where to go, but not very long. And full of fire enemies. Yay, just what I've always wanted. Alright, let's keep moving here. God damn it. Okay. Keep moving here. Alright. Ah, crap. Alright. because those little things block the way. We have to go actually from a certain side. Alright. So we're out. Let's keep moving back into here. As you guessed it. Oh, nope, just a regular battle. It's going to happen in a second here. We're almost there. Alright, let's keep moving here. We're going to grab some chests for some goodies first. Alright. Protect cloak. There's the second one. The only shield a caster can carry, except for the red mage. And there's going to be another treasure at the end of this hall. I forget what it is. Alright. And down. And fight. Okay. Money, which at this point, we don't really need. We've maxed out the money counter. +2. Alright, let's keep going. Looking at my stats going. We might actually level up before we get to the final boss here. I say that because it's like every, 5 seconds, it's another freaking fight. Alright. Alright. God damn it. Okay, protect ring. Alright, let's keep going here. There's a chest down this way. Oh, wait. Can't get faster to get it from this side. Alright, let's keep going. And another Sasuke, which, no, you can't dual wield, but you wish you could. And really, just leaving that on there is for the best for now. One more treasure chest in the game left to open. That's what you can see why I came the way I did, and then I was like, oh, I shouldn't go that way, because it's kind of a novice trap where it's like the door's on the far east side, but if you approach it from the bottom, it's actually a longer. You have to traverse further to get to it. So yeah, there's not much to show battle-wise here because all the enemies are rehashes from older dungeons. So it's kind of like, what's the point? Except the only difference is they show up in greater numbers, especially the hardest ones. Specifically, the hardest ones. It's mostly fire lizards and fire giants and lava worms, and really I could just beat them down. We're almost out of potions, which isn't good because we still got 2 more floors and the final floor, which you just run right to the boss. So we'll see how it's going. We're gonna probably be burning through all of our white mages level 2 heal cure 1 and 2s, maybe some 3s, so hopefully not too many, but it shouldn't get that far. We're also close to leveling up again. So, but this is probably the longest floor, give or take. That's a little misleading. It's definitely one of the longer and more annoying floors in my opinion. The floor with the 4th boss on it, I don't want to give too much away. His floor is going to be long because it takes a while to get to the chest, which holds one of the better weapons for Stabby here. I believe he can equip it. If not, well, whatever. But it's the last chest. Whereas the third floor we're going to go to with the 3rd boss, his is more of a maze. But if you know how to navigate the maze, it's not going to take that long to get through. It only takes a while to get through if you don't know how to navigate it. So that's the only part you got to kind of worry about when you get there. So. Yeah, now you see my hassle. It's like fight, walk 5 to 10 squares, fight, walk 5 to 10 squares, fight. This is the final dungeon, guys. I mean, they're intentionally making it pretty rough. So, luckily, keeping characters above 300 health, so for the time being, is okay. Once we get to the 4th basement floor, we need to be a little bit more careful. The enemies are going to be what we saw in that dungeon. But then again, we're not hurting right now at all. So, let's see. How healthy are we? Not healthy enough. That's probably fine. Here we go. Now, Merilith, you crazy bitch. Merilith. What do we got here? Let's see. Yeah, Ice 3 will work. Yeah, we'll start using some of our magic in the boss fights as needed. Wow, that was embarrassing. That's concerning, actually. Yeah. Ew. You know what? We're gonna have to, steal. I thought that was gonna do more damage. So let's steal and haste our main dude only. Because that should be enough to handle this. As long as she attacks him and only him. Rather be safe than sorry. It's not like we're not hurting for spells right now, so it would have been nice if that happened first, but it didn't. Ooh! Well, none of that's gonna probably do anything, so may as well. Look, it did more damage than the spell. Come on. Kill that bitch. Kill her real good. That's how it's done. Woo! I was cutting that close. We will not be taking the future bosses as we will be taking them much more seriously. Because yeah, that could have really screwed up our run here. So obviously it does kind of screw up our run a wee bit. So we gotta cure for him. Yeah, that was not fun, but that's kind of what happened. I didn't take that fight as seriously, and I almost freaking got wrecked for it. So this dungeon, part of the dungeon, not as bad. Lots of enemies here, but we are loaded with bolts, skills, und items, which actually will work. No. We'll just do this the right way. So yeah, we'll keep moving. It helps if I hit the right button. Sorry about that. Hit the freaking stop button instead of the start button like a freaking moron. And Aquos, yay! Alright. So down here, I want to say, I'm gonna go up. Trying to think of how to get down here now. I don't quite remember. Alright. God damn it, Nappa! Alright, let's keep moving here. As we got... It's the Bot Kraken! Oh boy. Alright, let's get to it. Let's not take any chances. So where is... What am I doing? I'm zoning out for a second. Pop that. Woo! Wasted around. I love it. We'll get Stabby beefed out too. Everybody's getting the beef. Everybody! Anything to help keep us alive. Because he can hit us and one-shot us out, so that would be bad. So keeping our strength and defenses up is pretty important. And we're just hoping he doesn't one-shot Dildo. He can kill the other characters off for all I care, but Dildo has to survive. Woo! For those of you wondering, I actually had to reload and fight all the way back here again. And I did get all the chests and everything. I didn't leave anything behind. Don't worry. But yeah, I had to fight my way all the way back here, unfortunately. No way around it. No way around it. Yeah, hit and murder. Murder can take it like a champ. Not the other characters so much. And boom goes the dynamite. Woo-woo! Yay, yay! Oh. My nipples. They were worried. My nipples were worried. They were concerned. Wouldn't yours be? And yeah, 500 XP. Fight enemies don't even get XP like that pretty much anymore. Alright, out of potions. So yeah, I had to reload, walk all the way back up here from the beginning of the goddamn dungeon, because I didn't have enough warp 1s to get out. Because the warp 1 doesn't work retroactively to a degree, so yeah, it just, no, was not having it. Yeah, crap. Alright, let's keep moving. Now there's the last chest is on this floor, and you bet your ass we're gonna get it. Alright. Oh my god, so far out of the way. Tapping into our heal 4s and 2s right now. The Masamune. So look at that. It's even stronger than Murder's Excalibur, but look who that can go on, motherfuckers. Booyah! Go ninja, go ninja, go. Go ninja, go ninja, go. That's the thing with this party setup that I really like, by the way. Excalibur on Murder, Masamune on Stabby, making him just as devastating as Murder pretty much now. If you had 2 warriors, you could still benefit from this, but if you had 2 warriors and a red mage, it wouldn't help you very much. If you had a warrior and a monk, that Masamune would go on Murder, and then the Excalibur is just wasted offensive damage. Again, I don't use the monk very often, so those of you who use monk frequently might have a better experience with monks than I do, but I tend to find monks to be just mildly disappointing compared to the power of 2, because I believe the knight still damages the monk if I'm not mistaken. So I could, again, I'm not admitting to anything, I could be wrong, but again, it's my appeal for the ninja. It just grows every time something good happens, but that's few and far between. Alright, let's keep moving here. Running. Fighting. Okay. For those of you wondering, I do need to clarify that I did something. I died fighting the Kraken the first time, and then I had to reload the game, and then I fucking didn't have the recorder running when I died anyway. So it worked out because I fucking forgot to turn the recorder on. So just, if I think I made a comment earlier that I had to go through the whole dungeon again. So yeah, that actually came up because I done goofed, as they say. So my apologies. But that is what went down and transpired against my will. So now we're here dealing with this, with Tiamat. Who, by the way, we still got to buff ourselves and all that good stuff. But Stabby's going to be outputting, so for the first time, he's going to be starting to output. And we're already on Tiamat, this is a good thing. You know, getting as far as we got here. And hopefully this doesn't kill anyone. It shouldn't. Fucking game. Can never trust it. And then we'll go with the white robe. And we'll go with steel. Everything we can to reduce damage, man. Everything that we can do. And hopefully he just focuses on attacking Murder. Everything else is subjectively unimportant. As long as he's attacking Murder. I don't think this will amount to anything, but let's do it anyway. Rather do some damage than none, even if it's 2 points. Yeah, Wow, only 400? That was pretty shitty. And boom goes the dynamite! All that's left, guys, is the final boss. And we're fucking hurting. All I got are heal 4s. We're gonna have to use one on our main character, so we'll have to figure that out, but it's gonna get ugly. I'm going the long way, like an idiot. Alright. Got like 3 cure 4s left, and that's all the healing we got. We'll see how we do. It's gonna be kind of up in the air. So here's what I'm gonna do, guys. Let's go ahead. Heal up our main character. And we'll just leave Stabby. I don't want to leave Stabby that way. So let's heal Stabby. And hold on to all of our healing. Yeah, we're going in wounded this time, guys, on our white mage. But that's the way it goes. He's going to be hitting himself with null all. So that'll be good. We might put it on our fighter, or one of our fighters as well, the null all. And we're just hoping for the best, because this is going to be a rough fight. We burned too many potions and spells getting up here, but we should be able to do it if everything kind of works out. So let's get to it.
Well, don't you look familiar? Don't remember me? It's Garland.
But how would you know us 2,000 years in the past?
2,000 years into the future, you killed me. But the four great forces sent me back in time, thus resurrecting me in the past. The wheel of time revolves eternally. I sent the four fiends of chaos into the future. And they shall once again send my future self into the past. 2,000 years from now, I will lose all memory of the past. But in that past I will be reborn yet again. Your life shall end here, and mine shall last forever.
I will explain during the ending of this game what this storyline all means and all that hubbub. Because really right now it's probably really hard to understand what the hell he's talking about. But I will explain it when we are rather in a safe place. Ooh! So yeah, I'm already worried. Once we get null all up, we can get shield 2 and put up null all for Stabby. Is probably not a bad bet. Chances are 2 characters could die in this fight pretty easily. But that's just kind of the way it goes. We're going to try everything we can to avoid that from happening. But there's never a guarantee. So, but we'll see what we can do about Stabby not taking any more damage. A null all might end up on him, but it could end up on murder too, so I'm not committed to anything yet. He's going to hit us pretty hard, so, yeah, with magic. That's why the null all is not a bad deal. Attack. Cure 4. Right, yeah, Cure 4. And Flare! We gotta hit him with everything we got and hope for the best, because he could wipe any of these characters. He could wipe Stabby at any moment easily. And, which is my concern. So, keeping the HP up is gonna be important. That's our last healing spell, by the way. And now, for Dildo, we're just gonna let him cast Holy. I don't think we can buff the party any better than this, so... Yeah, Flare didn't do much, neither will Holy, but... So I might actually hold off on Holy, because Holy's attached to our life too. Well, we have 3, so... We have 4, so we'll do 1 Holy. Flare. Ooh, Dildo took a hit there pretty bad. Come on, guys.
Show him no mercy!
We're out of MP, so outside of Life 2. And if Dildo dies before anyone else, we're not going to get to use Life 2, so we're going to keep casting Holy. It's extra damage, man. Whoa. Could put up null all, though, but, eh. Damage is, to me, I think, more important. And, yes! He's down! Suck it, Chaos! Oh! You just got your ass beat. You just got your ass beat. Ooh, ooh, ooh. You just got your ass beat. And nobody died. Usually I get a character or 2 to die, so we did that pretty good. It makes up for my Kraken death earlier, which was embarrassing. Which I cut from the recording, obviously, because I was, very angry. Because I had to end up going through the whole dungeon again. So, it has been done. It has been done. We. Oh, and yes, it is the longest ending game crawl to my most recent memory.
The time loop was severed at last. The battle spanning 2,000 years came to an end, and peace prevailed. The light of the 4 crystals revived the wind, water, earth, and fire. It all began with a trivial misunderstanding, but it was enough to open Garland's heart to darkness. His hatred swelled with the 4 forces of nature, and from it were born the 4 fiends of chaos. Evil swallowed the world, plunging all into darkness. But that is now the past, the stuff of legends. Thanks to the courage and strength of the 4 warriors, all has been set right again. The warriors will travel in time once more. The world to which they return will be restored to its natural state. Princess Sarah, Queen Jane, and even Garland will be there, obviously to what happened in that time. Twisted dimension. And, well, what happened in that time twisted dimension? But when did it all begin? The source of the chaos lay in a strand of time that looped around to connect 2,000 years. 4 warriors were chosen by the very forces that had plunged the world into darkness. These 4 forces were the key to banishing the darkness as well. And when everything was over, the memory of the 4 warriors' journey to the past was destined to be lost forever. But their deeds will survive in people's hearts as legend. The tales will be passed down for generations to come. Dwarves and elves, dragons, people who reach for the stars, all will cherish the tales. The warriors are returning, traveling back from the world 2,000 years past. With the memory of their journey buried deep within their hearts, they will carry on their lives and watch over the world. Never forget, the light of this world must always be guided in the right direction. If it goes astray, darkness will come again. A crystal shines within every heart. A crystal gleams with your heart too, for you are the one who fought the battle spanning 2,000 years. With the power of murder at our side, we could never fail. I'm sorry. May the world be blessed with light for eternity. Release the birds.
Oh, God. And there it is. Final Fantasy 1, or Final Fantasy for many people. This spawned an amazing series of games, as many people know. But this was the first. I'll be honest with you, story-wise, even in many of the remakes, it's never really aged well. Compared to newer ones for obvious reasons. Anything like 4 and later, you can't really go wrong with as far as the way that the game feels and plays and all that. But anything prior to Final Fantasy IV, the first 3 Final Fantasies are pretty rough around the edges for most gamers. And I don't blame them for that. I don't blame, modern gamers, young people for not really getting into these. And it's not their fault. These are tough games to sit through compared to modern times. But when these games came out, when this game came out, when Dragon Quest, the first Dragon Quest game came out, it was a big deal. And it was amazing. And Final Fantasy being the first RPG game, JRPG game I've ever played as a child. First RPG game I ever played. Might have actually been the first... It's not the first video game I ever played, because I played in Television and Atari. So those don't count. But this was easily the first RPG game I've ever played. And this is me... For those of you who've never seen me with rose-colored nostalgia, this is it. This is it. This game for me is nostalgic. I pull it out about once a year, once every other year, and I play it. I live stream it sometimes, or sometimes I'll just play it on a Game Boy, and Game Boy Advanced or something. Depends on my mood, but I'll play it on any console. I really do have a soft spot for this game, embarrassingly enough. And I still want to say, of the first 3 Final Fantasies, this is still one of the best ones. Is it the best Final Fantasy in the franchise? Far from it. It's not even in the top 5. But it's definitely a good Final Fantasy. If you want to break into the hardcore JRPG stuff, any of the Final Fantasy 1 remakes are pretty good to start you off with. I can't think of, especially if you want to do the Final Fantasies from the PlayStation era, or from the first Nintendo era. You can't go wrong with Final Fantasy 1. 2 is a disaster. Great story, though. Terrible, terrible mechanics, making it almost intolerable to play. Easily almost one of the worst Final Fantasies. And the Final Fantasy 3, though clunky and, again, hard to use and hard to get a feel with, the story in that one's okay. It's not as good as 2's story, but it's passable. But, that's the thing. It's, Final Fantasy 1, though with a weak story, it laid the ground for everything going forward. For most JRPGs, Dragon Warrior was successful, did a really good job, but Final Fantasy created helped really make the genre shine. Because I didn't play the original NES one, and maybe I should sometime, but the NES version was so advanced compared to Dragon Quest, nobody could believe that this game was even made the way it was. And it hasn't aged well. Even the remakes of it don't age well. This is a game that if Square Enix really wanted to remake and redo hardcore, this is really the one. 3D it up, make it look nice, add an actual set of story elements, expand the game a little bit. It's a little short. With all the grinding we did, I'm thinking our hour time was around 25 hours, which is pretty short for hardcore play. Most of the Final Fantasies after Final Fantasy 1 take longer than 25 hours. Many of them around 40. Final Fantasy 4 you could beat in 20. I've beaten that in 25 hours or so with 100% completion. Not level 99 characters, of course, but 100% item grabs and everything like that. Without getting too involved in the adamant stuff. But do I recommend this game? If you are a hardcore JRPG player and you're trying to get into the retro stuff and you don't know where to start, Final Fantasy 1 is a great start. One of the things that made the game easier in our playthrough here is I remember a lot of the maps of the game. Okay, if you know where to go, this game isn't too bad. If you don't know where to go, you're going to get lost in dungeons a lot, and it's not until about halfway through the game that you get access to Warps 1 and 2. And even then, it gets a little frustrating because there's a lot of dead ends, a lot of rooms that lead to nowhere, and Final Fantasy 2 takes this idea to the freaking max. But Final Fantasy 1 does it moderately and tolerably, and it helps you level and build up. And yeah, it's a bit grind heavy, but if you play it the way it's meant to be played, and you're playing it blind and you don't know where to go in the game, it's actually not that harsh. It really isn't that harsh. And getting around and stuff like that. And so for me, I love Final Fantasy 1. Of all the old Final Fantasies, I preferred even over the first few Dragon Quest games that came out on the Famicom. And the first one that came out on the NES. I recommend Final Fantasy 1 over those. And I recommend the PlayStation remake the most. I think it's the most authentic to the original game, and it doesn't try to do anything too over the top or too crazy to appeal to the fan base and all of that stuff. The PSP one is notorious for being overtly long, because they added a lot of extra dungeons and stuff. But hey, if you want to do extra dungeons and stuff, that may be the better version for you to pick up. And I hear they fixed some of the balancing issues, but I'm not too sure about that. The Game Boy Advanced one, I'm only mildly familiar with. I forget a lot of the benefits. I think that one had some extra dungeons too. But again, I still recommend, for the most authentic, upgraded experience, play the PlayStation 1 Final Fantasy Origins, which had Final Fantasy 1 and 2. For the best overall experience. Authentic. If you want to play old school, do not play the NES version of the game. I highly recommend you play the Japanese version for all the spells and everything in the game actually works correctly. In the NES version, there's a lot of glitches and a lot of things that don't work right with the spells. Like, all the instant death spells don't work for your enemies and for you. So if you're one of those players that uses them and relies on them, it's not going to work in the NES one the way you think. And then there are some Japanese translated ROMs out there. I can't support you get them, but there are some Japanese to English translations of the original NES Final Fantasy out there. And that's a really wonderful way to experience it as well. So what do I rate Final Fantasy 1? Well, I give it, without the rose-colored glasses, and I compare it to, let's say, this came out in the PlayStation era. Okay, so let's rate it to those kind of things. I would give it a 6.5. If you want to rate it to, should I play it today because it's really fun, I would rate it a 5. It's average. It's average on the harder side. And if you're into challenges, that's why I would rate it a 6.5. If you're playing this semi-blind outside of our playthrough here, semi-blind being, you're not using a walkthrough or you're not using maps and stuff to help you or anything like that. It's a 6.5 because you get a solid challenge out of it, and it's so old school. You got to talk to all the people in town. You got to figure out what to do. It really pushes that old school style of playing, and it's an experience like no other. And again, if you haven't played this game, wait like 1 year till you forget this LP. Okay, till you forget this LP. Wait a year and then go ahead and play it. Play it blind, and get an idea of the hardcore torment that this game put me through as a child. So I was going to mention something I was thinking of doing for fun. I write novels, fantasy and science fiction novels as a hobby. I've never published any of them yet. I'm still editing my first big book, which is already like in the 400-page range. And then I have a second book that's like 190, and I got another one that's like 222. So I'm getting 3 novels right, and one's high fantasy, one's science fiction, and then the other one's comedy. And I'm still working on them, but I always thought, would it be neat to write like a novelization of Final Fantasy 1 and adding in the missing kind of story stuff that should be there. I always thought that would be fun, giving the characters names, giving them personalities, making something out of the characters themselves. I always thought that would be cool. Maybe that's something I'll do. And then what I'll do is I'll make it videos of me reading it, and maybe some stills or something of Final Fantasy and all of that stuff. I don't know. Let me know what you guys think in the comments about doing that. Let me know what you guys think in the comments about Final Fantasy 1. Because there's a lot to talk about with this game just by itself. And if you haven't checked out RBG Guy Talks Final Fantasy, what are you waiting for? Check it out. I talk about all the Final Fantasy games in like a summary detail. And one of these days I will go back and rediscuss them all in vivid detail. Especially 13, because you guys want to see me just lose my fucking shit over it. Anyway, but yeah. I enjoyed playing this playthrough. I hope you guys enjoyed it. I hope you learned some really cool tricks for level grinding. Peninsula of Power. And you kind of saw me be. I had a thief in my party. People kind of cringe at the thief. You know what? I didn't. He was good in the last second half of the game. He was great. First half he was terrible. Second half he was amazing. And then obviously he was out damaging our warrior, our knight. He out damaged our knight a couple times by end game, which you can do with the master monk. You could do, I believe, with the. I don't know if you can actually do it with the red mage. But anyway, we did it. And I did it with the base characters that they even recommend for you. So, yeah, and we only had one death. We only had one... it wasn't a wipe, technically, because he killed the white mage. So we never actually had a full game over, I don't think, in the entire playthrough. But we did have a death of a character in the middle. We've had 2 or 3 deaths of characters in fights. But... we had one in the last. I didn't have to restart the game at any point and reload my save, except in the final dungeon, because yeah, we got screwed pretty hard. Because there's no life potions in this version of the game, where I believe they added Phoenix Downs in in the remakes on PSP and in the remake on a Game Boy Advance. I think both of those have Phoenix Downs in them and some other healing items, which, again, it makes the game easier. And I don't think they adjusted the balance for that, except in PSP, all the bonus stuff and all the bonus dungeons. So, anyway, whoa, thank you guys for stopping by. I am your host, the RPG. Thanks for stopping by. I'm not going to re-edit that. We're doing it live. I am your host, the RPG guy, and when we come back... we'll have some other RPG games up, maybe something that's not an RPG. I haven't decided what to play after this. I just wanted to play something that I thought you guys would like, and I really was getting a stick up my butt to play. And I hope you like, you comment, you subscribe. Come check me out on twitch.tv/JackTurdStudios. We've got video games going on there. Our tabletop show is going to be making a glorious comeback, as the computer for that show is finally getting a full overhaul. And we'll be back. You'll get to see us. And then instantly just, scroll down so you don't have to see the video and just listen to our voices. No, I'm just kidding. I'm not that hideous. Okay, but anyway. And you'll get to see my where I make all my beer and stuff and all that fun stuff. So anyway, I want to thank you guys for stopping by again. If you made it through this LP, more power to you. Thank you for stopping by. And we will see you guys next time. Bye. Well, I hope you guys enjoyed that video. Please take a moment to check out more episodes from the RPG Guy, Tuesday Night Team Up, and more. And please subscribe. Always support the channels you enjoy watching, and while you're at it, follow us on Twitter, Facebook, and Google+. Keep on gaming hard. See you next time.